This video might make you feel like you need to shower again afterwards. How many of you have heard of the Asante Empire? This is what Kumasi looks like today. It's a city in Ghana. But the city has an amazing history. And one very special moment in that history happened in 1817 when Britain sent an envoy to the Asante Empire who lived in Kumasi at that time. One of the men who led this envoy was Thomas Edward Bodick. And he wrote a book about it called The Mission from Cape Coast Castle to Asante. At the beginning of the introduction, he speaks about how Europeans first heard about Kumasi in the 1700s and that there was a Danish physician who planned to visit this place because he said the king at the time had a gold ornament or a gold charm that was so big it took 4 men to carry. So to start off, I'm just going to give you a little teaser before we get into the really good stuff. Toilets. Now remember, Bodick came from Britain, the empire with a God-given mission to civilize the rest of us savages. So in the 1800s, cesspits were used as a toilet. So several houses would use the same cesspit. Or sometimes if people lived in big buildings, they would use one cesspit for everyone. And it would build up for days until it filled or sometimes even overflowed. Sometimes after these cesspits had filled up and overflowed, they would just abandon it. They would cover it up with soil and just build another one, maybe next to it. And this kind of filth buildup led to diseases like typhoid and cholera. Now the situation got so bad that in 1854 they had in London what was known as the Great Stink. And this was because very often this waste was just dumped into the River Thames. And in that year, the summer was so hot that the water level in the river started to drop and the waste inside it started to ferment. The stench was so bad that even the House of Parliament had to hang up curtains that were drenched in lime chloride to try and mask the smell. Meanwhile, when Bodick was in the Asante Empire, he found that every house, by the way, this is what their homes looked like. Each house had its own toilet, like a small little room with a very deep hole that was dug for where the human waste would go into. Every single day, that dirt would be cleaned out and burnt, then covered with soil and ash. And the holes would be filled with boiling water to help clean it out and prevent further stench. Every day. By the way, don't these homes look amazing? This is a picture taken of one of their homes just before the British burnt down that entire capital. They burnt it down to show their power and strength. Civilized.